Hey, how are you? Welcome to DCP Talks, baby. My name is Stephen Candace, and I'm an author. And this is my podcast, DCP Talks, baby, every Friday night. That's right. Every Friday night at 7 p.m. It's there for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this year's things that make us go home, about the writing style, and about books of mine. There you go. So you can check anything out on my website. It gives you information about dates on my podcast or information about new books coming out and stuff like that. You can search that at www.authorstephencandace.com. There you go. Let's enjoy our lives and everything around us, baby, and everything usually turns out well. Just stay positive. There you go. Now, we will discuss my books. I wrote 58 books out there. 58 books. That's a lot of books. Actually, 59. And I'm in the middle of writing 2 books, and we will talk about those later. But man, 58 books. I've got every type of multiple variety that there is. I mean, man, we're talking about horror. We're talking about westerns, fantasy, crime, romance, Viking's Tale, cookbooks. There's a weightlifting book. Whatever you think and your little heart desires, check that shit out, man, and you're going to like it, okay? And I also got Audibles. Now, man, I got 24 books on Audible, and I'm about to make a plunge and send a bunch more books out there. My romance books, I want to finish those, as well as my Life on the Prairie, The Family's Journey, 3 books. I want to get those started on Audible. And I really think everything will come out perfectly once that's done. This week, we are going to talk about my 4 books in the Love and Happiness series. That's right. So ever since the beginning of time, we've always wondered why and how often we do things. When I wrote these 4 books, I only started with one, and that is A Father's Love, right there. A Father's Love. And then it jumped to The Blind Side of Love out of nowhere. And then I couldn't stop myself. We have Love Will Find You. And then the last installment is Love Grows on the Farm. There you go, guys. Check them out, man. It's a good read. It's something there for you. And I think you'll enjoy them. It's a good love family story. We will discuss everything, and we're going to break these books down, okay? Our friend few weeks have been sending us some questions, Mr. Steak Filet, and he's from New York City. New York City. That's right. So we're going to talk about that shit from him. And he messaged me a bunch of questions, okay, so let's see what he messaged me this week. He says, what message do you hope readers take from your stories? I just want them to feel like they've been somewhere. That's all. I'm not perfect as a writer like anybody else is out there. Some people are going to like them. Some people are not going to like them. Just enjoy the reads. I'm not a deep, certain thing of read, but you know what? I write right to the point, and I write to the story, and that's what happens. So to me, what I want people to take from the story is just enjoy it. Just take themselves away, like taking a bath in Calgon, baby. Now, and then it says, who is the main character in these 4 books, and why did you choose them? Well, the main character in the Love and Happiness series is actually Stephen Lakes. Okay, it all started by Steve Lakes. Okay, Stephen Lakes, was working in Houston, and he received a phone call that his father has passed away. So A Father's Love in the first book is about Steve having to go home dealing with his father's funeral. And in that case, that's exactly what happened. And so it's those emotions all the way home of him as a childhood. And then he meets Tanya. Okay, so there you go. Now, what was the first scene that I wrote? I have wrote so many scenes, but actually it was him getting the phone call. I remember when I received the phone call of my father's passing, it was devastating. At first, you're in shock. You're thinking, no, you didn't hear that. Then you realize you did hear that. So I think it's a really good, I think that was a good, that was a hard one, okay? Which scene was the hardest to write? I really don't like too graphic of love scenes. That's all. That's just me. Not that I don't believe in spice, baby. I love my spice. But I believe in the fact that I really don't feel there's a need for it. I feel there's a need where you can get really close and everybody knows where you're going. So what's the sense of jumping in the whole plunge and get into all that? It's just my own opinion. That's all. My opinion. Now, what scenes are the most fun to write? Are you kidding me? Battle scenes. I love fighting scenes. I love anything about fantasy fighting scenes and the dragons and the stuff. And I like the way everything just ships out, baby. And you just feel so freaking man. You're just ready just to go. It excites you. Even in movies. Come on, guys. What scenes do you like? Everybody likes to crash them, bang them up, shoot them out. And you know what? It's part of what it is. Is any part of these stories based on real life? Actually, it is. The first book is based on me dealing with my brother and my father's passing. My father was hard. My brother was difficult. And when you get those calls, and I had to travel back from Memphis, Tennessee to Michigan, on both occasions, by the way. And it was so long. And all you can think about is them. It's all you can think about. You think about the moments, the times you talk. You think about every little detail. And it really is something that sticks into your mind. It really does. And that's why I chose it. I figured it was a good, deep feeling emotionally. You know, and Dak Connor, he audibled it and did such an amazing job. I felt like he was me telling me the story. I love that shit. When they do such a good job where I listen to it twice, 3 times, it's really good. Now, let's see. What message do you... Nope, we already did that one. Why did you choose this title? You know, a father's love, man. I'm a dad, and I am a true dad, by the way. I'm not just a name out there. I'm a dad. I try to help my kids out in every way I can. And I always say this, and just remember this, folks. Your kids came into the world with nothing and they asked you for nothing. You brought them in this world. So you need to take care of them for their whole lives. There will become a time, which is now, where my kids are starting to turn a little bit and starting to help me out more. Well, guess what? That is the circle of life, and that's what family is all about. Take care of your kids, baby. They will take care of you. That's all I'm going to say. Boom. And that is why I chose the title, was A Father's Love. And how did you create the setting? Actually, you know what? I lived in Tennessee for many, many years. And outside of, Nashville, when you go towards Memphis, the closer you get to Memphis, or actually between Nashville and Memphis, there's a town, swear to God, it's called Bucksnort, Tennessee. Bucksnort. I died when I drove past this. It even has a zip code. It even has a township. It is insane. Bucksnort. So that is the setting of this book, was Tennessee around Bucksnort. And it just made me laugh, it just was really good. Which character in this book surprised me the most? In this book was Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Walker is the stellar. She is the mother of mothers. She's that stern woman, but at the same time, so carefree and loving. And she is just, well, you call her Mrs. Walker. You don't talk to her by her first name, so already that sets the precedent. But no, she is actually quite a great character in this whole series. What is the main conflict of the story? There's a lot of conflicts of the story. The conflict of the story is Steve is from Canada. Okay, Steve's from Canada. He works in Texas. Now, Steve's job, he's in Houston. So therefore, the conflict is she lives in Tennessee. And once they start talking in book 2, The Blind Side of Love, then there's the conflict. There's the shit that hits the fan, because now they don't know what to do, right? So, I mean, that is exactly what it is. Was the ending planned from the start? Oh, hell no. I never know what the ending's going to be. I actually based everything off chapters. So I make chapters for the book before I even start. My son taught me that. he goes, give yourself a guide and just, list out chapters. And that way, then you kind of know where you're kind of going in a way. And you can fill it in. So, yeah, so no, my ending stories, no, they are right. No. Did you ever consider a different ending? No. Well, actually, I did. I did plan on Tanya. Oh, I can't tell you that. Oh, no. You need to read that shit for yourself in book 3. Yeah. You got to search that thing for yourself. Love will find you, and book 3 will fill you in on that. I almost gave that shit away. That would have been terrible. What emotion did you want readers to feel the most is how I felt. I wanted you to feel my emotion of losing my father, and then a bright, shiny little light hits at the time when you may need it. Anybody knows when you lose a loved one, it is sorrow. It is so devastating. It hurts so terribly bad. And that's what I wanted people to feel the most. Is there a hidden meaning or theme in this story? No, love. Love and happiness, baby. I have wrote so many horror books, paranormal books. And you know what? I'm getting old. And I'm coming back to that morality shit where all of a sudden you want to make sure things are good. You did good in your life. And it seems like my writing style is changing. I'm getting more into the family side and the romance side of things. So, you know what? I think that's where it's going to go. How long did it take you to write these books? You know what? Probably 2 years for all 4. See, I write multiple books at once. So right now I'm writing 2 at once, and I just finished one. So therefore, yeah, I'm a multiple writer because your brain stops. Your brain all of a sudden gets full of one story. All of a sudden you may get trapped and lost. You need an out. So my out is a second book. And then it gives me a new outlook on a different story. Oh, and I write 2 completely different stories. 2 different stories. We'll get into that in Author's Corner. Now, which character do the readers relate to the most? Tanya and Steve. Tanya. Tanya is the most relatable person in the world. She works at a diner. Steve meets her. She's a country girl, very sweet, lives with mom and pa basically, and she just, it's a little town. Everybody knows everybody. So, and she's the belle of the ball basically. Everybody likes Tanya, I think that's who, yeah, so I think that's good. What makes this book different from others' books, man? It's about me. It's about my life, and that first book is about that turmoil, about the feelings and the drawing. And then you meet somebody, and it kind of helps you get through things. And I think that's what, Is this book connected to a series? Well, I just got through saying yes, but he didn't know that already. Yes, Love and Happiness series, 4 books. So just remember, man. Book 1, A Father's Love. Book 2 is The Blind Side of Love. Book 3, Love Will Find Us. And book 4 is Love Grows on the Farm. So there you go. Now you have all 4. Will you see these characters again? No, not really. I do have a really bad habit of multiple book characters. Right now I have a character that's been in 3 books. There you go. So they won't be in any books as far as I know of. But one never knows. Writers have a fantasy that just goes into it. The last question. Why should readers pick up this book? Because it's a damn good series. I've had so many people send me emails saying they love this series. The first book, I've had several people tell me, it was so funny. I received a phone call. Steve got an accident. And the best one was, with my new book, I had someone email me, said, just tell me, does Paul come home, please? And I'm dying. I'm like, oh, that's amazing, okay? Hey, it is what it is. So, our guest too, Mr. Jose Cuervo, sent in a few questions. We'll take care of those. DCP Talks, baby. All right. How did you create the main couple? Actually, it was a surprise. I knew Steve was going to be the main character and he had to deal with it. And I knew he was going to meet somebody. How? I didn't know. And then it's the old cliche of how many movies have we seen? Come on, the guy walks into the diner. But usually shit hits the fan. In this case, he sees the most beautiful blue eyes. And this book was actually wrote before Baby Driver. So, and the funny part is, in that scene, I felt like he took it from me when he just looked into Deborah's eyes. And I'm like, hey, that was my scene, mother. But it was one of those cliches that we've seen it for how many years in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And okay, I have. Hello, I'm 60s. So I've seen that shit. Let's see, so that's how that came apart. Which character fell in love first? Oh, that was Steve. Men always fall first. Man, we can't control our damn emotions if our life depended on it. We suck. Be honest, guys. Man, we dive in first. We don't care, feet first, and then we have to deal with the aftermath. Yeah, we suck. But Steve fell in love first, and that's why, and that's why he stayed in Tennessee for a couple days, as you shall read and find out. Was their relationship planned from the start? No. Actually, in book 1, I don't want to spoil it, but okay, there was an accident. So Steve needed Tanya's help. There you go. So therefore, by them being together for the time he needed her help, then they learned to talk and communicate and found they had much more in common than they thought. There you go. I cheated a little bit. I shouldn't have did it. But there you go. What is the biggest obstacle in their romance? Oh, is the difference in how far they live. I mean, Steve works in Houston, Tennessee. He's trying to, I can't tell you anything. But Steve is trying to figure everything out. Ooh, that was a good escape there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Gotcha. So he's trying to figure everything out. And Tanya's upset because Steve ain't there. She misses her man. Everybody knows what it's like when first love hits. You can't wait to hit each other. You can't wait to love one another. You can't wait to be with each other. The touch, the smell, the kissing. Oh, baby, baby, baby. That sucks. We suck as a fucking race. But it is what it is, and we love love. Anybody like me who writes a love book, I'm a fucking romantic. That's it. Hello. Okay, so what is the biggest obstacle in the romance? Oh, I just said that. Now, which romance scene is your favorite? The fair. In book 1, they go to a fair. And that's where it is. The fair. So you need to read that. Now, let's see. What makes this love story unique? Because it's genuine. You can actually feel it. You can feel them. You can feel their growing love, and you can feel how book 2, The Blind Side of Love, takes them really into love. Then you can see book 3, Love Grows on Us. I mean, and then, book 3, I mean, the cover tells all. I mean, if you see the cover, book 3 is So You Must Figure They Must Be Together. With the cover of book 3. So if you want to see what it is, you'll understand. And book 4 means, are they happy after everything gets back together? Back together. Oh, shit. Okay, no, I mean, okay, well, that was a bad one. They never break up. So I don't know where that came from. But, so there you go. The moment their love shows the most is in book 3. No, book 2. No, book 3. Yeah, in book 3. In book 3, because there's a very special event and they show one another their love, and that's amazing. Okay, was the ending always meant to be happy? Yes, of course. I'm a happy ending guy. But now, back in the day, 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when I used to write a lot of horror books, I've left 7 books open at the end. And I am just now starting to hit on some of those books, actually. I left Pigeon and Crows open. And now, as you're going to find out, we're writing book 2. And same thing with, if you want to be smart as a writer, you leave them open. Because sometimes these stories are There's one story. Man, I'm telling you what. Every rose has its thorn. And that book is such an left open at the end where you can see it going and going, oh my Lord. So that's one of those things. And that's actually, that's an Audible by Andrew Doby. But yeah, so to me, now let's get back to this one. But yeah, anything is always, let's see. What scene makes readers fall in love with the couple? Oh man, it's whenever, I think in book one, whenever Tanya gets upset. That's all I'll say. And those emotions, you feel it. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. It's all I can say, man. You know what it's like. It just, you know what it's like. And I think that's whenever you'll start to fall in love with them. Why will readers connect with this love story? It's because it's real. It's about my emotions. I'm a hopelessly romantic, so I think that's really what's going to draw everybody into this, is because it's real feelings. I've learned how to write. It has taken years. No matter what anybody says, they can sit there and say, I've been writing a book for 20 years. Piss off. You've been writing for 20 years. But the more you write, it's like a job, guys. The more you write, the better you get. The more repetition, the faster you get. I use a microphone to write. I just finished writing a 340-page book in less than 3 months. So to me, when you want to talk about pages, I wrote with all my books, 59, over 11,000 pages. There you go. Check that out now. So you say, what's in your back pocket? There you go. Now, let's get to our next segment, which is my ideal of politics. How about we are not doing it? I'm done with it. DCP Talks is out of politics as of right now. Now we're going to talk about Author's Corner, baby. Let's talk about Author's Corner. This is my new book that is just released, as well as my books that are coming. Okay, guys. Okay, the book I just released right here is The Prairie Life. That's right, The Prairie Life. Book 3, One Family's Journey. There you go, baby. It's right there, man. It's also out. And you know what? I've already ordered it. It's coming in. I love it. It came out today. It's so exciting. I can't wait. 340 pages. It's the last installment of the One Family's Journey. It's book 3. And this is The Prairie Life by Jean Ann Jenkins. We left off in book 2 where Laura suddenly stopped writing. Well, Frank Dobbs wanted to find out why, but never did until he met the youngest sister, Elizabeth, out of nowhere came to see the diaries inside the museum. Well, all of a sudden, they talk and communicate. Well, the younger sister, Elizabeth, decides to hand Frank Dobbs Jean Ann's journal from after she passed away. So therefore, Frank Dobbs is excited as hell, of course. And that is book 3. It's the tale of Jean Ann Jenkins. So to me, that's pretty cool. And that's what they did, and that's how they're going to do it. And I think that's awesome. So book 3 came out well, so therefore it's all done. It's ready to go. Now, the next book we're going to talk about, and that book is called The Armada. And The Armada is going to be book 2 of A Viking's Tale. Now, the tale of Astrid and Borg. Now, this is the book 1 left off where it took almost 2 years for the war with the King of Spania. After defeating the king, it takes almost 6 months for them to get ready to leave the country of Spania. The Queen Ravan is on her way out, of leaving Spania. 2 riders come to her. And on their way back around the dead forest, General Audibles and his army of men, of warriors basically, they leave the queen, and they go back to their Castle Italia. And that is where they've been for 2 years. Well, the 2 riders come to tell the queen that Castle Italia has been overrun and everybody inside is dead. And they're hanging from the rafters. The children are in piles and were burnt alive. So the queen is furious after hearing this news. She already knows General Audibles is on his way back to his castle. So you can imagine what he's going to say And it's in there on his way back. And as they start to pass dead animals and dead people of the surrounding settlement. So to me, it's a great tale. It's going to start, but this tale is going to be about Astrid and Borg, who were inside that castle, the only two survivors. And it's about their tale. So this is going to get pretty interesting. I like it. And then the third book I started right now, it's called John Tillis. John Tillis is a mining family back in 1865. They were in Mason's Valley. So therefore they bought property on the other side of the Mason's quarry mine, and their property ends up, it looks like may have some silver in it. So the story is about the company wanting their land, and that's what the story is about. The John Tillis, and it's the revenge. So therefore, it's going to be a good tale coming. Nice set in the 1800s, the prairie settings. I love that settlement life. I think it'd be really good now. Now, we're going to actually talk about, in our next segment, it's called the Writer's Corner. You know, there are some things about characters, about writing, and you really got to think about how do you want to do this. So I'm going to throw some things out there which people have asked me questions, and it makes sense. How can I make this chapter more emotional or more intense? Think about a moment. Okay, so my answer is going to be, you think about a moment that you've been in where you've seen people escalate, or you've seen people draw in and get emotional. So you have to take those emotions, whether it's mad or whether it's intense or emotional or sad, and you got to write those in. That's how you do it. That's how I do it. What I do is I take how I felt. You know, when something happens, you have an emotion, right? Well, how do you feel when you see something on TV and you see somebody just losing their shit? Well, there you go. Write what you see, because you're not cheating. You're seeing what an emotion is and you're learning from it. You steal shamelessly. You're not stealing the character. You're not stealing the movie. You're stealing how they're acting. So therefore, steal fucking endlessly, man. And put that in your book, because it's more, you see it. When you see something, you can touch it and grab it, and you can really represent it greatly. What does my characters want most in this moment? You know, I think that you have to write the scene and put them and know where you want them to go. That's the secret. Where are they going? What do you want them to do? They could just be sitting on a porch doing nothing, whittling. They could be holding a gun in a doorway, doing nothing. There you go. What do you want them to feel like, look like, and people to see them? There you go. Now, what an unexpected event could change the story right now? Baby, it's how you wake up. Woo! Like I said before, now, if I wake up in a shitty mood, oh, you know that shit's coming. Oh, you're going to die today, or someone's going to die in the story. But usually it's just, you know, it's a twist of fate. It really is. Writers have a way where they feel they need a sense of spice. They need to do something. We're going to change shit. That's it. Okay, if I rewrote a scene from another character's view, what would change? Well, everything would change. Because you're writing it from another character, who that character is. You're writing it from where they are, how they're doing it, how they do something, how their personality is. You got to remember that. When you base your characters, my son taught me this, okay? My son, he does movies. He's with Kiwi Productions. And he has a movie, you know, he has a production company. And he taught me this. He goes, Dad, give each character a note, and each character has their own personality. Do you want them to be upbeat? Do you want them to be straightforward? How are they as a person? And you got to maintain that character through the whole entire book. Never lose it. Well, guess what? That helps me out fucking immensely, because you know what? I suck. So I keep a journal. Every book has pages. And the first page is my chapters. Second page is my characters. Third page is my add-ons, which means where it's at, where I'm going. There's sometimes I got to make notes of where I've been and left off, because, man, it can get confusing. Anybody who writes a lot like I do. So, okay, there you go. Now, what question do I want readers to be asking at this point? You know what? where's the story going? There you go. I'm one of those people, I kind of write my ending at the very beginning so you kind of know what's coming. But where's it going? That's what readers really want to know. And they want to be enticed, okay guys? They want to be enticed. Entice them, baby. Now, what would surprise even me as an author? Oh man, when you get some emails, when I get emails in the back or phone call telling me, just tell me please. I die laughing. I'm like, thank you. Because you know what? I send my books out to people I know who read like endlessly. And they edit my books. So therefore, they're the only ones who can really critique it and tell me the truth. And they do. They will send me notes, go to page 33, do this on page 44, check this out. You may want to check out this and see if it's right. And I appreciate that because now I got a second view. And when that happens, it blows you up because now you have a sense of, you know it's right. Okay? You know it's right. I have an editor that reads so much, it's unbelievable. They read so fast, and they love all the top series out there, Outlander and all the new stories, whatever they are. She reads them all, and she will crush my book within a few days. And they send me notes constantly. So I like that, okay? When writers feel sick, man, stuck or sick? I said sick, it's stuck. You know, we all get writer's block and we all get stuck, man. Who are we? We're only human, baby. You know, we got to figure it out of exactly, you know, when you get stuck. That's why I write 2 books. Leave. Go do something. Go cook. You know, and do something, baby. Because you know what? You gotta unstuck yourself. Let's ruin my main character's life. You know, that's only happened a couple times in a couple books. But I'm not one to really ruin their life. I'm one to kind of beat them up and then bring them back. I'm that good over evil. I'm that the border collie versus the wolf. I believe I'm the border collie. I'm there to help people, and that's it. Every character has secrets. Oh hell yeah! I try not to bring out too many unless it's a spicy, like, you know, kind of an intertwining, twisty book. But otherwise, there's secrets. Everybody has secrets. How many readers feel something? In this series, Love and Happiness, you're going to feel it all. You're going to feel the sadness. I love it when you cry. I like it when you read something and all of a sudden you're happy and you got tears coming down. In this sports series book, oh my God, there's a bunch of that. Oh my God, with Steve. Oh yeah. Woo! Oh, poor Tanya. But now, okay, what does my hero really want? Okay, in this book, there's really not like a hero. There is a love story, and you want it to come out in the end. You want it to blossom. I mean, everybody has endless hope of romance. Come on, guys. And this book will fill your ass in. DCP Talks, baby. But yeah, so now we're going to get to my little Broncos talk, okay? To everybody, I was going to have a little bitty Broncos corner. You know, there's been a contract, you know, in touch. Everybody knows this, that the Broncos have extended DeJuan McMillan's tender contract. Kenneth Walker updated it, okay? A team will pay him out $5.8 million and pray for the Broncos won't lose him next year unless someone's going to pay a higher price for that. I don't think it's going to happen. They don't think it's going to happen. So we all know for the fact that, you know what, like Carol Burnett. Hello, everybody. You know, and so, yeah, you know what? You know, my next Bronco fan is my daughter. You know, cheers, Ash. Okay, go Broncos. But yeah, so I mean, they paid out this guy $5.8 million. I don't think no one's going to match that shit. So therefore, I think they're going to have and if they keep him, then we're going to get a 2nd round pick. Now I don't know about you, but we'll take the 2nd round pick. That's cool. So that is why I think they're going to keep, you know, McMillan and you know, and not really get rid of him. Okay, you know, I'm going to give you some fun facts about the Broncos, so this way, then you know, want to know why I love this team. Well, first of all, because Peyton Manning joined it, okay? But, you know, they were born the year I was born. They were founded in 1960, which is awesome. Cool. Denver, Colorado. Been there with my daughter. Monday Night Football game, which was amazing. The league is the NFL and the AFC West. They empower Field at Mile High. Wow, I always thought it was Mile High, and it's actually Empower Field at Mile High. The team colors are orange, navy, blue, and white, baby. Our mascot is Thunder, the horse. Championships, I can't even say that shit. You know what I mean. The Broncos is one of the most successful teams. Won 3 Super Bowls. I am having a very difficult time here. Super Bowls, 97, 98, and my man Peyton Manning in 2015. We should have won 14, fools. But it is what it is. We had Super Bowl appearances, 8 total appearances, baby. We have been successful, so I don't want to hear that stuff. Famous players, baby. We have been well known. Everybody knows that John Elway, number 7, League Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning, my man. You look around my office, I got his jersey hanging signed, baby. My bar is decorated, Peyton Manning. I've got everything. So 2015 championship, yeah, baby, that's my man. Terrell Davis, running back, Hall of Famer. My man, which I have several shirts. Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, baby. How about Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp was a fucking badass, right? Tight end, Hall of Famers. Now, the team highlights, right? We started in the AFL before joining the NFL in 1970. Know the strong defenses and great quarterbacks. We have always had good defense and always had quarterbacks. Now, the last 7 years, we suck. Get on board. Face the fact. We didn't have it. Bull was his first 2 years suck. I mean, he tried. He was a rookie. All rookies fail their first year. Very few actually make it. It's just something about and I'm not saying they don't make it. There have been a few, but most of the time it's just the peer pressure. We are known as the Orange Crush. Our defense, famous in the 1970s. We dominated in the late 1990s to the mid 2010. So I tell you what, our fan culture is Broncos. Call it Broncos country, baby, which I do. Our home games are loud and energetic. Man, you want to see loud? Woo! When you got 100,000 folks screaming. Man, we sat in the end zone, 18 rows up. We had so much fun. The Broncos do an amazing, before the game and stuff. They have parts all around the stadium, and they have all these games set up. You can get all kinds of artifacts for the Broncos and bags and stuff for the Broncos. It's really cool. We went the 50th anniversary. That's right. And it was so cool. We went at nighttime just to check out the stadium. So I drove around and we were by about 5 cars. Oh, no, actually, you know what? We were on one side, 5 cars. And then on the other side, there was a whole pile of cars. So we just went around, drove around. And then this golf cart came up and stopped us. And she asked us if we didn't mind what we were doing. And I said, well, we came from Canada and we wanted to see, Mile High Stadium. Believe it or not, this lady told me and my daughter, get out of the car, as she took us on a tour. The inside. Oh, we went everywhere. And of all the days of nights that she took us, Hall of Famers. So they had the Hall of Fame Bowl. That's what it was. And of all the nights, yes. So we met so many people. It was so cool. We got pictures of all their bus and them. And she took us everywhere. And then the next day when we went to the game, she told us to meet us. She took us to our seats. That was so cool through the crowd. That was really good. We felt pretty important that day. So that was our event for that. So that's my Broncos. And, we are known for the loyalty and big attendance, baby. They are loyal fans. But I tell you what, there's a lot of places that are loyal fans. Let's get real, man. Buffalo, Philly. You're talking about everywhere. Vikings, Bears. Look at the Bears. They've had a losing how long? And they're still fucking loving one another. So I tell you what. Now, we're going to get to the writer side of humor. Now, instead of writing about jokes about different stuff, I'm going to write the writer side of humor. When we talk about writers, okay, we say, I'm not procrastinating. I'm researching very slowly. Authors do not have Authors do not have messy desk. It's called organized chaos. My characters get more attention than my friends. That is so true. I talk to imaginary people for a living. Man, you have no idea. My wife always asks me, what did you say? It is hilarious. Uh, Being a writer means Googling things you hope no one sees. I'm telling you, I don't have writer's block. I have writer's traffic jam. When you write as many books as I have, trust me, I have a frickin' traffic jam. My plot twists even confuse me. I'm telling you, sometimes I do lose my place. I write because yelling at paper is socially unacceptable. This is true. My rough draft, oh boy, it's very rough. Let me tell you. Coffee is my co-author. I create drama for people who don't exist. And you gotta love that one. That's what I was gonna say, okay? My characters ignore my plans every time. That's true. They ignore exactly. I spend hours choosing one word. That could be quite true. I edit more than I write. Oh, hell yeah, all writers do. We constantly go back and forth, back. We, like artists, you micromanage. Being an author means reading your own book like you wrote this. Oh, man, I'm telling you. I write this, that is one of the best things I've said. It's true. Being an author means reading your own book like you wrote this. One of the best lines in my book, I love it, and when every writer should use it, it's, you can't make this shit up even if you tried. I love that line, man. That's the best line. I don't daydream. I'm working, which is true. My book knows all my secrets, all they do, and I put them in there. You won't even know it's even there, man. All right. I live in my head rent-free. Amen to that. I write novels. Ooh, man, I am having a hell of a time today, eh? I write novels, but can't write short emails. That's the damn truth on that one. Deadlines are just strong suggestions. My spell checker is tiring me. That's the God truth. Oh, my spell checker hates my ass. I have been analyzed by Grammarly over 69 million words, truthfully. They send me every 2 weeks an analytic report. And my worst is my spelling. It's the commas. Oh, I suck at the commas, man. My spell checker hates me. I'm emotionally taxed to fictional people. I do. I lay sleeplessly at night thinking about someone that's been dead or someone who's died. Writing is easy until you start. It sounds real easy, man. Sounds so easy until you put that shit on paper. And then you got to go from there. I became an author so I could talk to myself professionally. Man, I talk to myself all the damn time. Woo, everybody knows me. My grandkids must laugh their ass off at me because I walk around the house always talking. I cuss myself out more than anything. Woo, I'm terrible at that shit. Now that's enough about the humor side of writing. Now let's go to the humor side of getting older. I've reached 65 this year. Yes, that is not terribly old, but it's old enough compared to 50, 40, especially most people at 30 and, shit like that, 40s. Well, it's 20 years. 20 years gives you a lot of wisdom. So the funny side about it is when you get older, and these are true too. When I started reading these, I laughed my ass off. I don't need Google anymore. My kids know everything. I'm not old. I'm just well seasoned. My memory is good. I just forgot where I put that shit. That is so me. I love that. Growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional, though. You better remember that. I finally got 8 hours of sleep over 3 days. That is so true. Hey, I started exercising. My right to take naps. Yeah. Oh, God, I love my naps. Let me tell you, I love my damn nap in the afternoon. My idea of a wild night is staying up past 9 o'clock, baby. Woo! Then the horns come out. Hallelujah at that. I can't stay up past 11. Shit, I have the worst day the next day. I don't trip. I do surprise gravity checks. That is about the truth. Man, 2 years ago, I have fallen I had something with my hip that gave me my equilibrium was off, my balancing. I fell more times that year, and I had to have shoulder surgery because of it. And oh my Lord, it was terrible, man. I used to run marathons. Now I run out of breath. Man, yesterday I walked the dogs and I was breathing so hard I thought I was going to pass damn out. Wrinkles are just smile lines that keep going. Amen to that, man. I got more smile lines than I knew. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. Hell yes, that's a true one. I don't need GPS. I'm just exploring. I love that one. That is so many years ago. Retirement means every day is a Saturday. Amen. Hallelujah to that. One day I'll get there. I'm not ignoring you. I'm buffering. Oh, that's a good one. My kids should be telling me that because they never answer my damn texts or call. My phone has more memory than I do. Well, that's a damn for sure. My memory damn sucks. I don't get older. I get better stories. Now, that's the truth. I still act my age. I just forgot what it is. Amen to that, baby. And my favorite exercise is turning pages. Oh, God, I love that one. Age is just a number. A really big one at that. Now we're done with that, and I'm going to leave you with the quote of the week. And this week I write in all my books. This week's quote is, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Just do it. The longer it waits, the harder it gets. Just do it. Now I want to give out a shout out to a lot of my peeps out there. We got the Gamins out there. We got the Moody's out there. We got Kiwi Productions, Sparkle and Soar. And then we have Elk Artwork, ALK Artwork. There we go. Now, coming soon is going to be DCP's Cooking Corner, the hot spot, baby. And I used to be an instructor for Niagara College. So I'm going to do recipes live. And it's going to be my podcast, but recipe style. And we're going to do a cooking little show. There we go. It's coming soon to a theater near you, baby. There you go. All right. Just remember, the longer you wait, the harder it is. Get it done. I'm just telling you, baby, get it done. Please note that I'll provide both sides of feedback. You can send it to me anytime you like. So there you go. No holding back. Send that shit to author Stephen Candace at gmail.com. Don't be afraid. I ain't afraid either. Now, if there's a topic you want to talk about, just send me a note, baby. Just send me a note and I will talk about it. Now, this is my new segment and how I'm going to change the podcasting. This is how it's going to flow from now on. And I'm going to just revamp every week, different questions about the author, different things. So there you go. We will chat with you soon. Holla. Have a great day, a great week. We're looking for our next adventure, and DCP Talks is out.